It's time now for the best high school sports action from the WBCB Sports Network. Catch the best games from Bucks and Mercer County at WBCBSports.com and our Facebook page. Your home for high school sports is right here at WBCB 1490.
Good afternoon, Falcon fans and high school basketball fans alike, as we overlook Sheldon Per Court here at Bensalem High School, the neutral site for part of the SOL Public League Challenge, where today the Pennsbury Falcons will do battle with the Palumbo Griffin. Chris Ermer, along with Ben Goldstein, Colin Summer, Makai Gundy, bringing you all of the action. Great to have you with us today, and thanks to all of our community partners for making today's Pennsbury basketball game possible, including McCaffrey's Food Markets. This is the McCaffrey's Game of the Day. Thanks also to Team Toyota, Dion Square Merchants, St. Mary Medical Center, the Revere Restaurant, Discount Auto. We welcome them to Pennsbury basketball this season. Thanks to BCWSA, the Peruzzi Auto Group, the Trentonian, and this is the Trentonian pregame show, just moments away from getting this one underway. Thanks to the Trentonian, where you can read about today's game in tomorrow's edition. Thanks to the Pennsbury Boys Basketball Parents Club, East Coast Printing 215, Jammer Doors, DiLorenzo's Pizza, the Berg Pizza, and last night the Pennsbury Falcons defeating Northeast High School. They beat the Vikings 61-30, and our DiLorenzo's The Berg player of the game was Braden Clark. Had an outstanding game for the Pennsbury Falcons. They got the win last night. On the other side of this SOL Public League Challenge, Palumbo defeated by the Bensalem Owls a 44-41 final, but Palumbo, they had the edge in that game for a lot of right up until kind of the last little bit of that game, but they come off of a loss, Pennsbury coming off of a win, and we're kind of just underway, guys, with this high school basketball season, and it's great to be with you. Ben, welcome on in. We missed you last night as you were at your other job.
Yeah, it was at the job
where you're actually doing real work.
Yeah, we're a little bit more hard labor than we're doing here. But no, I was able to watch the game this morning, back from last night. And Pennsbury, not a great start. Obviously, went down double digits in that first quarter, but they were able to turn it around a big way. And it kind of started as soon as the two sophomores started to heat up a little bit. Joshua started getting better looks. Braden Clark, of course, started to take over the game. That's when the Falcons started to get going, and they ended up winning by 20-plus points. It was a dominant win for Pennsbury last night, and they'll look to continue it into today against these Griffiths.
Yeah, trying to ride that momentum here into today's game. And, Makai, big thanks to Bensalem for hosting us, hooking us up. And this is a great venue for this SOL Public League Challenge, and we really appreciate being here. A beautiful day. It's great when it's cold outside, and we're nice and warm in the gym.
Yeah, nice and warm indeed. Got the air conditioning running high. They built this whole gym while I was attending here, so I didn't get to, see it in its totality like this.
Right.
So this is a great spectacle to see.
Yeah, a really great facility. And again, thanks to Bensalem for hosting us, hooking us up with all that we need to get our stream going here on WBCB. All right, moments away from getting things started. It's the McCaffrey's Game of the Day on WBCB, and with the holidays approaching, let Puss in Boots and Fairless Hills do all the work for you. They can cater any event, any holiday office party, a home, getting together with a bunch of people at the house. They can hook you up, and they get the same great menu that has made them famous for over 50 years, and they even have special brunch menu, special things they can put together for your event. Puss in Boots can even bring the food truck out if you have a big thing going on, and it's been voted one of the best food trucks in the area. Don't forget gift cards from Puss in Boots. They make great Christmas gifts, and for more information about catering, holiday events, gift ideas, call Puss in Boots at 215-295-8236. That's 215-295-8236. Puss in Boots Tavern, 942 Trenton Road in Fairless Hills. A great place to meet family and friends for the holidays. So the Falcons get off to a 1-0 start. Meanwhile, for Palumbo, 0-2 so far this season, and they've played well, been competitive in those games. We talked to their coach before we got things going here on WBCB, and he's been pleased with how things have gone, but unfortunately they don't have really strong point guard play. They've suffered some tough injuries, some guys who aren't going to be able to participate today, so they're a little bit hampered, and they're going to be relying on a freshman at the point guard spot. And like last night, Mackay, they had a lead over Bensalem for most of the game, but then as it got into the late game moments, those critical possessions, they weren't able to hold it together, and that's how Bensalem got the victory 44-41 last night. So they're hoping maybe that'll give them a little bit, season them a little bit for today's game.
Yeah, maybe, the way the game came under pressure last game for them, they could probably get it on the refs, do a little more, getting comfortable with the ball so that you don't have as many turnovers as I'm sure they did with the game, with the 3-point win. Right. It's just so close. You don't want to give that away. So
yeah, especially late, you cannot afford those turnovers. You have to value the basketball, and that's something that Coach Emmy has been preaching this season with Pennsbury. They didn't do a great job of it in the first quarter. All the 50-50 balls were won by Northeast in the early going, but then once they got things moving, and that's kind of the key for the Falcons, to move, to play fast this season, but also to make sure that you value the rock. You can't afford any turnovers while you also play with pace.
Yeah, that's something that Coach Emmy said that the Falcons are going to need to do today defensively, is to get those turnovers. This is another high-speed offense with Palumbo that is a little bit short-handed, so you're going to see some different things. However, if they want to come out on top, it's going to have to start defensively today for the Falcons. That's forcing those turnovers, getting those steals, and being well defensively like they were for the final 3 quarters last night.
And a different look today, Mackay. Falcons are going to be facing a lot of zone looks. At least that's what Coach Emmy was expecting today. 1-3-1, a 2-3 zone from this Palumbo team. And so they've been talking about shot selection regardless of what defense they're facing, but it becomes even more important as they're playing against the zone, and that the spacing and how you get those shots off is going to be an important element.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be key. Nobody really likes to play against the zone. As a former player myself, I hated the zone just because it forces you to play out of your comfort zone. Really, you really have to just find a way to get the ball in the middle, around that free throw line mark, and it's all trusted within your big man, really, and that's just something that's completely different for him, trying to be a playmaker around that free throw area.
Yeah, and I think we talk about styles make fights, Ben. If Palumbo can get back and set up that zone defense before Pennsbury gets down the floor, I think they can it'll be tough for Pennsbury to get their offense going, but if the Falcons play fast and they can get down there before that zone is set up, edge to the Pennsbury today.
Yeah, Pennsbury, they pride themselves with how quick they can play when you got a ball handler in Braden Clark who has so much speed. Brady Kent as well as a speed threat, so Falcons going to have to continue to play quick and play fast so they can beat the zone defense that the Griffiths pose.
All right, starting lineups coming up here in today's game on WBCB, also brought to you by Jammer Doors, now open on Business Route 1 in Lawrence Township, the region's newest showroom for garage doors, entry doors, and windows. Jammer Doors at 2480 Brunswick Pike, which is opposite the Lawrence Shopping Center and is New Jersey and Bucks County's premier new showroom for garage doors, including Raynor Garage Doors and Jammer Doors. They offer entry doors, patio doors, storm doors, windows, and they install what they sell. They don't use subcontractors, and that helps you save a little bit of money, and they take more pride in the work that they perform. Jammer Doors, family run, a local business for over 100 years. And new showroom now at 2480 Brunswick Pike, Business Route 1, opposite the Lawrence Shopping Center. Open Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, Saturdays, 10 to 2. Yeah, the gym got quiet. I thought maybe there was a moment of silence or something there, but with the starters now getting introduced. Tito Matumbo wearing number 11 for Academy at Palumbo, the Griffin. And he is joined on the floor with one of their main threats, guy bringing varsity experience to the floor, Julius Pomels, number 4. And then you got Kamau Gill, a junior guard. And with him, Theo
Well, they got a number 3 out there that wasn't listed on their roster for Palumbo. So there's that.
I believe that was Kamau Gill.
Okay.
And number 20, Kyle Tran, and he'll be their freshman point guard. Here come the starters for the Pennsbury Falcons. Braden Clark, our DiLorenzo is the Berg player of the game from last night's win, joined by number 4, Brady Kent, the 5'10 junior guard, wearing number 21, Sean Breslin in his junior season. He's joined by sophomore guard Patrick Jajua, and the lone senior in the starting lineup for Pennsbury, number 25, forward Max Manga. All right, just about to get this one underway. And we will step aside and return here. I believe we're going to have the national anthem before we get things going. Perhaps not. We got the SOL Public League Challenge. And a great format to get this high school basketball season started. Great to have you with us on WBCB on a Saturday afternoon. And it looks like we're going straight to action.
So Palumbo's point guard today is freshman Kyle Tran. They have both seniors Taj Medley and Hayden Hamilton are absent today, so they're going with the freshman point guard Tran today. So that will be very interesting to watch for the Griffins, is how they will go about that kind of game plan, because, you know, point guard typically is your senior guy that has been with the program and knows how to handle it, but today it's going to be their freshman.
Yeah, going with the youngster. And the tip controlled by Pennsbury. Breslin over to Clark, gets it back and launches a 3 off the rim, and backside rebound by Kent. Another chance for the Falcons. Here's we're just underway. Across to Kent, launches and hits the 3.
At our Pennsbury preview show, the consensus answer was for a guy that's going to surprise you this year for the Falcons. It was Brady Kenton showing off there. His main game is from beyond the arc, and hit a nice clean 3 open from the corner there.
And their good defense there as Breslin knocks it away, knocks it out of bounds, and Gill tosses it in. A foul away from the bucket.
We got a possession arrow is malfunctioning down at the scorer's table.
Issue at the scorer's table. McCaffrey's game of the day here on WBCB. Chris Ermer, Ben Goldstein, Makai Gundy, and Colin Summer with you. Last night the Falcons got down early to Northeast before rebounding big time and coming away with a 61-30 victory. Dominant in the second and third quarter of that game. Air shot won't fall for Palumbo, but they follow it up. Kyle Tran can't hit. But the follow-up is good there to make it a 3-2 game. Now Joshua with the dribble, directing traffic. Up top, sends it over to Clark. But they say move the feet, and is called for a walk.
Pennsbury lost a lot of games last year due to their high turnover count, and that's going to be something they need to clean up. They've 20-plus turnovers a couple times last year, and that's a lot of times why they lost those games. It was competitive. It's just turning the ball over at key times. They will have to clean that up here in 2025-26 to come away and win some ball games. Of course, different personnel as well.
Kyle Tran hands off to Gill. Yeah, and they've kind of been a slow starting team. Last night against Northeast, again, got down big, but in their scrimmage against William Tennant, a slow start in the first quarter for the Falcons.
Playing some tight defense right now.
Wow, a wild shot there. Julius Pamels throws it off the glass, no good. Into Breslin in the corner. His 3 won't go, and Mutombo, strong rebound inside. Cheney with the dribble. Up top there to their freshman point guard. Tran with a nice drop-off pass. Shot from the corner. Open look, but they can't connect. And then Breslin fights for it. Wins it for the Falcons. Joshua steps through and lays it in.
Yeah, him getting himself on the board early, that's a good sign for him. He was a little bit shaky in last night's game.
Didn't have a quick start, and when he did get his shot off, wasn't able to connect at the clip that he would like to see. Nice job there by Max Manga to poke that one away. Steal it. Clark in transition and one. Count the bucket. And Braden Clark to the line, the 6-foot sophomore guard. And he is just electric in transition when the Falcons are able to play fast. He's the guy who got them to the line a ton last night against Northeast. And back at the line here, try to complete the three-point play.
Yeah, just something to note here. I'm seeing Palumbo only has one coach out there, as opposed to Pennsbury. They have like 4.
Yeah, Pennsbury's got a whole group of coaches, assistant coaches. I think Coach Bergman is the assistant head coach with Coach Emmy. Nice drive to the bucket, but Joshua snuffs out the shot. In transition, a high dribble and contact, a foul on Palumbo.
Yeah, you just don't see too many, at the high school level, or just, one coach out there.
That's Tito Mutombo who picks up the infraction.
Good name, Tito Mutombo.
Yeah, especially for a big guy, had a nice rebound. You expect that kind of play from a guy named Mutombo. Joshua with a nifty pass over to Breslin into the corner. There's Brady Kent. Now up top to Braden. Clark hands off, a little weave here for the Falcons out on the perimeter. Yeah, trying to penetrate this zone defense. They had a little walkthrough today in preparation. Joshua's shot won't fall. Clark follows it up, rises, and gets the whistle. Another trip to the free throw line.
A big part of Clark's game this year is going to come at the free throw line. His quickness getting down to the basket is going to draw a lot of fouls, so he's going to have to be efficient from the line, which is something that Pennsbury has not been over the past 4 seasons.
Well, if he's going to get to the line with the frequency we expect, hopefully he's going to be able to clean up that free throw shooting, which wasn't terrible, but wasn't really great last night. And there starts off today with a misfire, and he goes 1 for 2. His first trip makes it a 9-2 game here. Falcons with a good start. Tran with the dribble for Palumbo. Again, the SOL Public League Challenge, a non-conference, out-of-league, neutral site game for these two teams. Last night, Palumbo falling to Bensalem 44-41. Inside out, the 3 on the way, yes. Connection from Gabe McCall.
Falcons missed the switch on the screen, left the guy open, and then total defensive breakdown right there.
And there's a breakdown as they get it to Joshua. He goes around a couple of defenders and has an easy lay-in to get his second bucket of the day. And the Palumbo Griffin will take time out and talk things over with 3:49 to go in the first quarter. We'll keep it right here, let you know that East Coast Printing 215, your go-to source for custom apparel and printing in the 215 area and beyond. And we're so grateful for all of our sponsors to help make Pennsbury basketball, all of our high school athletics possible. East Coast Printing, they were also with us for the Bristol-Morrisville Thanksgiving Day game. And I'm getting word that we're adding some Bristol-Morrisville action on December the 15th, and maybe another Morrisville Bulldog game on December the 22nd. And thanks to East Coast Printing again for supporting the Falcons, supporting the Bulldogs, and also your Bristol Warriors. And they're your go-to spot for embroidery, custom orders, all types of printing. They bring your ideas to life. Custom screen printing. And whether it's outfitting a team, promoting your brand, or creating something for your family, maybe for the holidays, a unique gift idea, East Coast Printing 215 in the Morrisville Shopping Center, your go-to source for top quality, great work, and quick turnarounds. They're right there in the Morrisville Shopping Center as we get back to action. here on WBCB. Palumbo with the drive around Clark. Gill can't get the shot off. Well, I thought he might have stepped out of bounds, but an extra step taken, so a turnover as Mutombo called for a travel. Falcons with the starters still out there. Clark, Manga, Joshua, Breslin, and Kent. And there's Joshua working the baseline. Out to Clark. 3 is good. Nice ball movement.
Yeah, that's a beautiful job working that inside-outside game.
Gill puts on the brakes, hands off to Tran. Trying to get it inside. They were looking for McCall. It's taken away. Clark in transition with another layup.
6 of the Falcons' 16 points have come on the fast break, just showing off that speed that they have, a lot of it from Clark and Joshua.
And there Tran looking across the floor to Cheney, and he throws it over his head and out of bounds. And you see Clark getting fired up last time down the floor, clapping his hands. Feeling it today as now Pennsbury going to the bench. Zach Staines and Nick Bunda out there with Joshua, Clark, and Breslin.
Staines is another guy that you're going to want to have your eyes on this season on the defensive end specifically, able to just kind of be all over the place. He had a couple steals last night.
Yeah, it felt like he changed the complexion and the atmosphere of that game when he came off the bench and provided that
high energy and
defensive intensity.
Kind of a spark guy that you can have off the bench. He's going to be a really important player for the Falcons this season.
Foul picked up by Palumbo, and Clark tosses it over to Joshua and can't handle the pass that's coming back to him off of his hands out of bounds and back to the Palumbo Griffin. Palumbo an 0-2 start. They also fell to Benjamin Franklin 45-42. And in that game, they got down early, kind of like today, and they recovered. They played well, got back into it. But too much damage done early in that game. And the Falcons, their Staines pokes it away. Bunda grabs it out of the air. Now Bunda in the corner, back up top to Staines. Joshua fires. And off the front rim, Bunda keeping it alive. And he's whistled for a push underneath. So Nick Bunda picks up his first foul. And off the bench comes Owen Hogenkamp, as Joshua will get a breather here towards the end of quarter number 1. Yeah, like Gus was mentioning last night, just trying to get everybody, all the faces, all the names, some new players out there for Pennsbury.
I mean, outside of Breslin, none of these guys really played for varsity last year, so it's a ton of seniors last year, kind of a whole new look.
Wow, McCall nearly lost it on his drive, able to hold on to possession, goes up with the shot and gets a late whistle. So trip to the line for Gabe McCall. Yeah, Breslin and of course Joshua with those varsity minutes from last season, but Clark wasn't out there a ton. As you said, Brady Kent, kind of one of the new faces that everybody saying might surprise some folks with his talent and ability. So 16-5, 1:17 remaining in quarter number 1. McCaffrey's game of the day. McCaffrey's Food Markets, exceptional every day. And we've got a ton of Pennsbury basketball for you throughout this season. Looking forward to big-time league competition as Gabe McCall hits at the line to make it 16-6. Breslin across the floor to Clark, and he'll pull back a little bit. Set up a play. Hogenkamp over to Breslin. And he gets a three, finally able to connect. And, I mean, he is a great shooter, and expect him to heat up. That pass thrown away.
Yeah, and I said it last night. That shot's going to be there all day for him. I'm sure all season as well, just his height advantage.
Height advantage and the quickness of some of his teammates, I think, going to give him a lot of open looks as that one dribbles out of bounds.
And especially the way he has the ball over his head.
Foul push called. And although that's not a shooting foul, in the bonus, so Clark to the line. Yeah, and so far for this team, he has been on that stripe. I mean, that would be something to see if we can track how many times he gets to the line here this season for the Falcons.
What, he's got 2 today?
Yeah, a couple of trips today. I think he was there maybe 7 times last night against Northeast.
We'll get that number.
Little pressure here as Zach Staines preventing the ball being brought up and gets the steal. Hogenkamp across to Breslin. Pass deflected. Breslin keeps it alive. Ball goes off of Staines' leg, and he's going to be whistled for the foul on Kopke Hessler. Bumped into him as Kopke Hessler was bringing it up the floor. We got under 20 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Falcons here with a commanding lead and a good start against the Griffin. There they tip that one away, but last touched by Pennsbury, so stays with Palumbo. Only 7 seconds to work with. Nice behind the back dribble and a good look inside. Shot blocked. Clark thought it was clean up top, but a whistle will send Theo Cheney to the free throw line for a couple. And he gets there with 0.9 remaining in the first quarter. And a 10-point first quarter for Pennsbury's Braden Clark. But one thing we've seen where that Palumbo throughout this season, this early season has done, they've continued to battle and have gotten back into games. At the buzzer, Clark heaves it down the floor, looking for a whistle, but none forthcoming. So we reach the end of the first quarter. The Pennsbury Falcons in front of the Academy at Palumbo, 20-8. It's high school basketball, the SOL Public League Challenge on WBCB here from Bensalem, and we'll return to Coach Sheldon Percourt in just a moment.
The 1993 National League champion Phillies. My friends at BCWSA are committed to providing us with safe, reliable water and sewer services. They operate state-of-the-art treatment facilities, provide clean drinking water, and make much-needed investments to protect our environment and ensure a sustainable future. Learn how BCWSA's investments help grow and serve our communities. Visit bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
Don't let joint pain bring you down. See how you can get relief at a free joint pain seminar at St. Mary Orthopedics. Joint care experts will inform and answer questions about diagnosing, managing and treating joint problems, and knowing when it's time for a joint replacement. Ready to get back to life? Get to the next free joint pain seminar. Details at stmaryhealthcare.org/joint seminar. It's your health. Expect more.
Head out to Dion Square, located at South Oxford. Second quarter action underway as Palumbo takes it underneath the bucket, trying to kick out. And another errant pass as they turn it over. It'll be turnover number 9 Falcons have coughed it up 4 times. So you look at fast break points. Pennsbury with 6 fast break points in the first quarter. And there's Palumbo on the break. The shot is blocked, but the follow-up is good from Kopke Hessler. Salas Kopke Hessler connects to make it a 10-point game. Kick out. Manga from distance. Knocks it down. Big bucket there from the senior. How about that? The big man stretching the floor horizontally.
Pennsbury, they want to play a positionless basketball game. That's going to include Manga doing a little bit more than just being in the paint.
Yeah, he must be feeling it today. I saw him come out in warm-ups, and the first shot he took was kind of right from that spot. Nothing but net, and connects here in the game.
Well, just like they say, practice makes perfect.
Whistle and foul picked up by the Falcons as Brendan Ryan now off the bench getting his first minutes. He's out there with Hogan Camp, Kent, Joshua, and Manga. Gill with the dribble for Palumbo. Flips it over one of their big offensive threats. Number 4, unable to connect Pomels, but a battle for the basketball won by Kamal Gill, and shot no good, but gets a whistle and a trip to the line. A little grit shown by Academy at Palumbo right there. Out of the Liberty division last year, they went 8-11 and 2-9 in the league. Meanwhile, for Pennsbury, it's been a pretty busy day, as the basketball program earlier mentioned that they had like a walkthrough. They were trying to get ready for this Palumbo zone defense as we get an equipment adjustment. And then they also had a PRBL clinic where they had 131 kids, and the Pennsbury players working with them on some drills. And Coach Emmy told us that's the most, the best participation they've had at that clinic. Falcons nearly lose it underneath, but Brendan Ryan fights for possession. Now out on the wing, gets it up top. Hogan Camp inside to Joshua. Extends with the right, no good. Manga, offensive rebound. His putback gets the bounce. Manga makes it 25-11. So he scores from outside, scores from inside. That one tipped away and nearly won by Brendan Ryan, but ends up tripping up Mutombo.
Third foul already for Pennsbury, just not even 2 minutes into this second period.
Checking back in is Cheney. Kopke Hessler to the bench for Palumbo. They send it in to Mutombo. Mutombo trying to split defenders in the lane, loses it, but it's picked up by Jules Woolsey, and he's got an easy lay-in. Make it 25-13. Falcons have been hard to stop at this end, though. Brendan Ryan bouncing into Manga. Manga out to Kent, 3-ball. Got it. Open look, and Brady Kent connects for his second 3 today. Falcons up by 15, and there's a little walk.
10th turnover already for Palumbo. And Pennsbury making good use of it when they're able to get the ball back.
Now Clark slowing things down. Setting up a double screen up top, out to Kent. Open look, off the front rim, no. And Palumbo knocks it over to Cheney, brings it up the floor. Behind the back dribble, knocked away. And Joshua with the steal. Joshua with a pass down low for Breslin, able to hold on to it. But then he tries to get it to Kent. And that not able to handle that one, goes out of bounds. Coach Emmy not liking the looseness of that play for the Falcons. A couple of bad passes resulting in one of their few turnovers. They are winning the turnover battle so far this afternoon. A drive, Euro step, yes, Pomels finally connects.
Nice move by Pomels, though, getting downhill.
Kent puts on the brakes, gives it up to Clark. Now inside to Manga. Manga's got a little space inside. Instead kicks out Clark to Kent. Good ball movement. Breslin, his shot snuffed. Good block there. And as he moves into the lane, knocks down a defender, and the officials looking at each other, and they finally say offensive foul.
Yes, I definitely saw a forearm being pushed off right there.
Yeah, it took them a little while to figure it out, but I think they come to the right decision.
Yeah, I don't think they needed that long of a conversation there, but.
How about that closeout block by Jules Woolsey?
Pennsbury, 4 fouls here in this second quarter. They had 4 fouls in the entire first quarter. So matching their foul total, not even halfway through.
Cheney with a tough take, and he'll get to the line.
Make it 5.
Crashes his way there on that drive. Yeah, last night in that Palumbo game with Bensalem, they were in front for most of that game and then fell apart late. Here looking to do more what they did against Benjamin Franklin, where they got down early and then stayed in it and fought their way back. Cheney good from the line. Cuts the Pennsbury advantage down to 11. Clark and Joshua playing catch up top. Now Joshua starts to dribble. Breslin over to Clark, tries to bounce it to Kent, and it's taken away by Pomels. Pomels going coast to coast and bangs right into Breslin, and he's called for the offensive foul. A charge taken by Sean Breslin, and a good job there to recognize that Pomels was not going to stop, and they needed to get in his way. Make a little, force him to stop with the contact. And a good job there, toughness there by Breslin to take the charge. Joshua picks it up, entry into Manga. Manga up and under, little scoop shot. That one doesn't fall. Here fighting for possession, still battling for it, this time with Cheney. And whistle timeout by the Academy at Palumbo. They'll talk it over with 3:27 to go. We're in the second quarter of the McCaffrey's Game of the Day on WBCB. In today's game, brought to you by the Pennsbury Boys Basketball Parents Club and Medela Capital. Lee Luckman and Medela Capital proudly supporting Pennsbury Boys Basketball, and we thank them for helping to power portions of today's game. After the action, we'll head down on the floor. Ben is with us. Oh, thank goodness. Yesterday, I had to do the post-game interview. It actually was pretty good vibe, good energy. Big thanks to Braden Clark for joining us for a little bit as our Pennsbury player of the game. And I think Coach Emmy might just be sending guys out. I don't know if I didn't request Braden. I mean, he had a great game, so it was kind of obvious that he would be the guy. But anyway, DiLorenzo's passes along a gift certificate to our player of the game and also invites you on out. Great stuff at DiLorenzo's. Their original Trenton tomato pie, great gourmet pizzas, their mustard pie, soups, fresh salads, hot sandwiches, homemade pasta dishes, all served in a safe, clean environment. A great place. DiLorenzo's The Berg, right there on New Falls Road. Call 215-943-2605, and they'll have it ready for you. 215-943-2605. DiLorenzo's The Berg Pizza. They also will hook you up for all types of holiday events. And right there, a little bit of an equipment issue as Gil has to get his shirt tucked in, and instead it's going to be Ath who comes out. He's got the dribble right now for Palumbo, gives it over to Cheney. Cheney over midcourt, having all kinds of problems with Clark. Over to Ath. Ath's got to deal with Kent. Step through and kind of got tripped up there, and will get a couple of shots at the free throw line. Brady Kent called for that foul. And that's just the first foul of the day on Kent. But from here on out in the second quarter, Palumbo in the bonus. Big foul discrepancy that Ben's been touching on here throughout this second quarter of play. Ath off the back rim. That's one of the things that I think comes along throughout a high school basketball season, Mackay. Free throw shooting, you deal with the pressure, you kind of get used to it as the year goes on.
Yeah, back when I was playing, my head coach would put pressure on us and say, however many free throws we miss in a game, that's how many laps or suicides we would have to run in practice.
Well, I mean, it can be such a critical element. It'd be the difference between a win and a loss. And I just think as the season goes on, both of these teams are going to be shooting better from the line. Across high school basketball, teams probably tend to get better free throw percentage. Underneath Staines, out to Breslin, 3-ball off the back rim, no, but Manga with an offensive rebound. And he retreats and shovels it over to Joshua. Joshua calls out a play. Looking for a couple of screens up top, gets the 3 off the back rim, long rebound gathered up by Staines. Falcons with multiple opportunities here, controlling the glass. Clark from downtown. No, it's down low and finally picked up by Mutombo.
Falcons had a lot of opportunities there. You got to capitalize. It's got a couple offensive rebounds.
Yeah, Cheney can cut into that lead, but up top it's an offensive foul. A screen from Mutombo is a no-no. And so that's team foul 2 on the Griffin here in quarter number 2. Falcons working against this Palumbo zone defense. Looks like they got a 2-3 working. Nice look downtown to Clark along the baseline, but his shot rejected. And then Clark called for a reach in. And that will send Pomels to the line again with Palumbo in the bonus. So this is one way they can, again, get back in the game, continue to cut into the Pennsbury advantage, but you got to connect when you got those chances.
Hey, we were talking about Daily Runs the Berg just a second ago. I got to shout out their pie of the month, which is right up my alley. Balsamic Blitz, white pie with no garlic, spinach, bacon, fresh mozzarella, and balsamic glaze.
Yeah, okay.
Sounds good. Make sure you go get out there, because that sounds like a good pie.
Sounds delicious. And right there, Joshua brings it up the floor for Pennsbury, and a push is called on Colin Ath. And Ath picks up his first. And the foul discrepancy evening out here a little bit as that's team foul 3. Entry to Breslin, catch and shoot. Not quite. And ball batted around, finally controlled by Manga. Spin move, off glass and good, and 1. Give him the bucket and a shot at the line for efforts right there. 1:18 remaining before halftime. Falcons look to add to their lead. Manga, a very good second quarter. That gives them 7 points in the second quarter and hits at the line to make it 8.
And he had 10 last night's game, didn't he?
I think he might have got to double digits.
Okay.
Hold on, let me see. I got to check it out.
I want to say he either had like 10 or 12 because he was just feasting down below.
I think I got him for 8 last night.
Okay.
Close.
But, you know, down the stretch, sometimes I miss in buckets, so
Okay.
that score sheet is not to be trusted. Joshua for 3 in the corner, no. And controlled, good rebound as Woolsey pulls it down. Cheney brings it up the floor, picks it up, and now gives it over to Gill. Gill with a nice first step, gets his shot off and connects, makes it 31-19. Breslin is knocked down, and they say he took an extra step before he got that pass off. But Breslin, you can see certain frustration levels starting to build because he's had great moments last year at the varsity level. Falcons with a steal. Kent at the elbow, spinning around. And now Falcons over to Joshua, who takes it in the paint. Rims out. No love for Pat so far today. Pummels in transition gets himself to the line. And that foul picked up by Zach Staines.
A lot of action right there, but great job by Staines right on the inbound, able to pick it up and get the steal. Great hustle play by Zach Staines. You're going to see a lot of that here in 25-26 from the junior.
Oh, man, just loving it. High school basketball back on WBCB. Great to have everybody with us here on this Saturday afternoon. Falcons with a big game on Tuesday, and they will be honoring former head basketball coach Ed Cochran and doing a special ceremony before the game. I'm not sure if something's going on at halftime. I know Bill Redner is going to be with us on WBCB.
Oh, boy.
And we've got some history with Coach Cochran as he was our color guy for a while on BCB. And so Bill is hoping to talk with one of the Cochran family members and do an interview, talk a little bit about Coach's legacy. Joshua off the back rim. Manga keeps it alive. Breslin, pump fake, steps in. Long 2. No good. And then finally controlled by Woolsey underneath. Gill at the buzzer, way too much, and we get to halftime with the Falcons in front of the Academy at Palumbo Griffin, 31-21. It's the SOL Public League Challenge on WBCB. And we'll step aside, return with some halftime stats, get you ready for second half action, take a look at scoring and such. When we return, it's Pennsbury basketball, and thanks to the Pennsbury Boys Basketball Parents Club and Medela Capital. Lee Luckman and Medela Capital proudly supporting Pennsbury Boys Basketball. They're up 10 at the break. We'll be back with more on WBCB. Head out to Dion Square, located at South Oxford Valley and South Olds Boulevard, with the following businesses ready to serve you: Pat Dion Beverages, CVS Pharmacy, Smile Culture Dental, Biomat, Wayner Nationwide Insurance, Liberty Auto Tags, Pennsylvania Fine Wine and Spirits, Lee's Hoagie House, AutoZone, and First National Bank and Trust of Newtown. Make Dion Square your one-stop shop for all your shopping needs at Fairless Hills.
Since 1954, the name McCafferty has stood for outstanding automotive sales and service. Today, Patrick McCafferty continues that tradition at Discount Auto, right here in our own backyard on Business Route 1 in Langhorne. Discount Auto has over 100 hand-picked pre-owned cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans, all fully inspected and ready to go. Discount Auto, the perfect place for your kid's first car. Discount Auto, the perfect place for a fine pre-owned family car or an SUV or even a van. Discount Auto, they're locally owned and operated by Patrick McCafferty, who supports our community. The name McCafferty means great automotive sales and service at Discount Auto, Business Route 1 at Oxford Valley Road, Langhorne.
You know, McCaffrey's Food Market is exceptional every day, and they are proud to serve you since 1986. They're a local hometown business. They support your community, whether it's helping flood victims or holding fundraisers for the American Cancer Society or employing our local high school students. McCaffrey's is always there. They have the finest products, prime cuts of meat, a prepared food department where everything is made fresh daily, and also a fresh seafood department. Visit McCaffrey's Food Market near you in Yardley, Newtown, New Hope, Princeton, West Windsor, Gladwin, and Doylestown. They are exceptional every day, and they are local and proud of it.
This is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. Every champion needs a good game plan. BCWSA and I want to make sure you have a game plan when it comes to conserving our most precious resource, water. Whether you're washing dishes, brushing your teeth, or watering your garden, there are ways you can save water and save money. Visit bcwsa.net for tips on conserving water. BCWSA, proven.
Are you living with relentless pain? St. Mary has a new way to help. Knee and hip replacements with a smarter process for faster recovery, earning prestigious awards for quality and value. A rapid recovery program has you walking just hours after surgery, and breakthrough advances such as custom-fit joints position you for a longer pain-free life. 215-710-5888. St. Mary Orthopedics. It's your health. Expect more. Hi, Merrill Reese reminding you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You'll always feel welcome at the Revere. It's like stepping back in time where you'll feel like you're dining in South Philly or New York's Little Italy. Start your meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. Choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood dishes, succulent steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The Revere is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private room available for special affairs, plus catering. For reservations, call 609-882-6365. That's 609-882-6365. Come home to traditional Italian cuisine. The Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road, Ewing Township.
All right, welcome back to Bensalem High School, the neutral site of today's SOL Public League Challenge on WBCB. The Pennsbury Falcons taking on the Academy at Palumbo Griffin, and the Falcons in front 31-21 at halftime. Big thanks to Lee Luckman and Medela Capital, proudly supporting Pennsbury boys basketball on WBCB, and thanks also to DiLorenzo's The Berg Pizza and Peruzzi Buick GMC. Yeah, Peruzzi Buick GMC, where their business is you. And right now at Peruzzi Buick GMC, year-end clearance sale going on GMC Sierras. They have 20% off MSRP on Peruzzi's entire inventory of Sierras, and Buicks offered at 0.9% financing and up to $3,000 off MSRP. Extraordinary savings right now at Peruzzi Buick GMC on Sierras and Buicks during this year-end clearance. 20% off MSRP on Sierras and 0.9% financing on Buicks, plus $3,000 off MSRP. Peruzzi Buick GMC, Business Route 1 in Fairless Hills, where our business is you. And right now we turn to Ben for some first half stats here between Pennsbury and Palumbo.
All right, look at our first half stats here. Field goal rate for Pennsbury. They are 11 for 27 from the field, 6 for 13 from beyond the arc, and 4 for 6 from the free throw line. So pretty good shooting numbers for Pennsbury. Also have a total of 13 rebounds, 8 of them coming offensively, so doing a good job on the offensive glass. 7 steals to 9 turnovers, a lot of those coming in that second quarter, 5 of them in fact, along with 3 blocks, 8 fouls in that second quarter. Meanwhile for Palumbo, they're shooting just 5 of 13 from the field, 50% from 3, however it's just 1 for 2, along with 8 for 15 from the free throw line. A lot of free throw shots coming up for Palumbo. They have 7 rebounds, 5 of them defensively, 3 steals, 2 blocks, 15 turnovers, and 4 fouls in that second quarter. So a lot of turnovers for Palumbo compared to a lot of steals for Pennsbury. So 31-21 here, and we'll be back right after this break. Falcons leading up 10 at the half.
There really is nothing like a home team advantage. That's why Team Toyota makes a great choice for your next vehicle purchase or service. With our MVP pricing guarantee, teammate rewards program, and streamlined customer experience, our award-winning operation ensures that you can trust our process. A home team advantage is nothing without the community. Our employees are part of our family, part of your town, and we're all part of the team. We're always here for you at one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, and Glen Mills.
Hey BCWSA customers, this is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League Champion Phillies. My friends at BCWSA are committed to providing us with safe, reliable water and sewer services. They operate state-of-the-art treatment facilities, provide clean drinking water, and make much-needed investments to protect our environment and ensure a sustainable future. Learn how BCWSA's investments help grow and serve our communities. Visit bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
Don't let joint pain bring you down. See how you can get relief at a free joint pain seminar at St. Mary Orthopedics. Joint care experts will inform and answer questions about diagnosing, managing, and treating joint problems and knowing when it's time for a joint replacement. Ready to get back to life? Get to the next free joint pain seminar. Details at stmaryhealthcare.org/joint seminar. It's your health. Expect more.
Head out to Dion Square, located at South Oxford Valley and South Olds Boulevard, with the following businesses ready to serve you: Pat Dion Beverages, CVS Pharmacy, Smile Culture Dental, Biomat, Wayner Nationwide Insurance, Liberty Auto Tags, Pennsylvania Fine Wine and Spirits, Lee's Hoagie House, AutoZone, and First National Bank and Trust of Newtown. Make Dion Square your one-stop shop for all your shopping needs at Fairless Hills.
Since 1954, the name McCafferty has stood for outstanding automotive sales and service. Today, Patrick McCafferty continues that tradition at Discount Auto, right here in our own backyard on Business Route 1 in Langhorne. Discount Auto has over 100 hand-picked pre-owned cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans, all fully inspected and ready to go. Discount Auto, the perfect place for your kid's first car. Discount Auto, the perfect place for a fine pre-owned family car or an SUV or even a van. Discount Auto, they're locally owned and operated by Patrick McCafferty, who supports our community. The name McCafferty means great automotive sales and service at Discount Auto, Business Route 1 at Oxford Valley Road, Langhorne.
All right, back to action. It's the SOL Public League Challenge as Pennsbury in front of Palumbo 31-21 at halftime and in the first half. Leading all scorers, Pennsbury's Braden Clark. He had 10, and then you had 8 coming from Max Manga. Big presence inside and a big second quarter for the senior. He winds up with 8 points in the first half, 6 coming from Brady Kent, a couple of connections from distance for Kent, 4 from Patrick Joshua, and 3 from Sean Breslin. For the Academy at Palumbo, 5 points coming from Julius Palmels. They got 2 from Kamau Gill, 2 from Tito Matumbo, 4 coming from Theo Cheney, 4 more from Gabe McCall, 2 from Salas Kepke Heisler off the bench, and 2 from Jules Worthy. So everybody kind of getting in the mix for Palumbo. Nice look inside. Joshua with the assist. He finds Manga all alone, and he's got the easy layup to extend the Falcon lead. Give him 10 now for the day.
Good start there for Pennsbury here in the second half, able to find Manga down low. Good backdoor read from Joshua.
Gill there putting on the brakes, kicks out to Cheney. Cheney gets it poked away by Clark, nearly loses it, but last off of Pennsbury, so it will stay with the Griffin. Just underway in the second half, McCaffrey's Game of the Day on WBCB. Chris Ermer, Ben Goldstein, Makai Gundy, and Colin Summer. Mentioned will be at Pennsbury on Tuesday for their home opener. Looking forward to that, getting back to our regular spot over there at the Falcons Nest. Kent able to knock that one loose, and down on the floor. They're going to call a tie-up. And it is Palumbo with the arrow. Kent kind of felt like he had that one.
Took him a while to call that jump.
Didn't have anywhere to outlet that. And had Palumbo Griffin around him as Mutombo flips over to Gill. Gill asking Mutombo for a screen. And we'll flip it over to Cheney. So Palumbo in that zone defense throughout the afternoon. Pennsbury, pretty consistent one-on-one look. Joshua there defending, long rebound, and he's able to gather up the miss from Pomels. In transition, gets the shot off, wanted the whistle. They're silent, and up the floor, Pomels doing a little cherry picking. He's all alone down there and has a easy bucket. Get it back to a 10-point game. Clark gets it from Kent. And they're calling out a play. Has some space to let one go. Three, no good. Nice rebound by Pomels. Cheney with the leak out. And they've got another transition bucket. And the Falcons don't like what they're seeing. Coach Emmy wants to talk things over. They'll take a 30-second timeout. And so it gives us time to let you know that for complete automotive service, you can trust the Peruzzi Auto Group. For value and service on all makes and models, free multi-point inspection on your vehicle with any paid service. They have a 10% military and law enforcement discount on any service they perform. And if you buy 3 tires, you get the 4th free. All service performed by certified technicians. Peruzzi with big comfy waiting rooms at their dealerships with free Wi-Fi, early drop-off. Peruzzi service open Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. And Saturdays open 7:30 to 4:30. Peruzzi Auto Group service for all makes and models. Visit a Peruzzi dealership on Business Route 1 in Fairless Hills, where our business is you. And proud to be part of today's game. Big thanks to the Peruzzi Auto Group. You can read about today's game in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian. For complete local and national coverage, check out the Trentonian or online Trentonian.com. Falcons out of the timeout. Clark nearly loses it. Breslin with a great save. And then Clark's pass looking for Joshua in the corner. It's tipped away and taken by Palumbo. Pomels can't get that one to go. Off the back rim.
Say, got to use that backboard right there.
$1 million move, but a 5-cent finish. And then at the other end, Falcons looking inside, and Palumbo knocks that one away. We'll stay down here with the orange and black. 5:37 to go, third quarter. Clark into Breslin, gets it right back. And I think there's a clock issue. Yeah, officials stopping play, and they want to make sure there's 5:34 up there on the clock. Every second could be important, you never know. Joshua steps through a couple of defenders. Nice movement around the perimeter. But a good closeout there, good job. This zone defense is tough to try to find space in. Now Joshua dribbling around, basically a double team on him all the way across to Breslin, drops it down to Manga. Across to Kent. Kent along the baseline. Bottled up, Breslin drives, and his shot deflected by Pomels. And he's gonna take it all the way and lays it home.
Palumbo showing life in the second half to start.
Palumbo's six straight last 3 buckets have all been on the fast break. Struggling with that one.
Yeah, all those long passes, and they're stretching the floor vertically, which is something Pennsbury is hoping to do. Joshua bounces to Clark, now over to Kent. You can feel that Palumbo has ratcheted up.
Yeah, this is what they can do to you when they can take that momentum. They keep it going until, last time they had it throughout the game, kind of broke down a little bit. There's a big three for Bensalem.
Connects in the corner, his second three of the afternoon.
But when they were down in that first game to Benjamin Franklin, as we've been saying, they just weren't able to fully complete the comeback. Today, they're kind of feeling that same thing. That's a steal for Clark.
He picks the pocket. His shot is blocked, stays with it, goes back up and gets to the line, fouled by Pamels. And slow to get up, but good to see Clark helped out by his teammates, and he'll work his way to the line here. 3:49 to go, third quarter.
Third trip to the line today for Clark, for those keeping track at home.
Don't forget, you missed the action on BCB. Read about it in tomorrow's Trentonian. Outstanding local and national sports coverage. Count on it 7 days a week. All in the Trentonian, and great high school sports coverage in the Trentonian. And this time of year, they ratchet it up a little bit with the high school basketball season. All the great action, both in Bucks County and Mercer County. Stepping on the floor for Palumbo is Gabe McCall. Connected from distance in the first half here, as Clark good at the line to stretch it back to a 10-point Falcon lead. On top 37-27, and there they got the trap going. They trap Gill, Clark and Breslin with the double team, and they get the tie up. They have the arrow, so it's Falcon basketball. Nice work.
Yeah, good job by the two juniors, able to swarm the ball.
Breslin gets a breather for his efforts and a little love from his teammates. And onto the floor comes Hogenkamp for Pennsbury. Clark steps in and knocks down the jump shot, long two along the baseline. And Braden Kent with now a dozen. And a steal underneath. They were looking for Cheney, taken away by Max Manga. And there is Clark dropping it off for Joshua. And Joshua disappointed that he didn't finish through contact. He will get to the line, but looking for the three-point play right there.
Got to the cup right there, just didn't bounce his way.
I'm going for a record for how many different ways I can say Braden Clark's name or mess up his last name or whatever. I'm going to have a lot of chances to get it right throughout this year, as he has been in the spotlight for the Falcons, and we expect Patrick Joshua to be a red light player, play big in big games.
Haven't seen a ton on the scoring sheet the last two games, or the last game and a half for Joshua, but
and it's unusual because he is a great shooter, and he's just not connecting. Maybe that type of trip to the line is something that can get somebody with his type of shooting touch off and able to connect now. Pamels gets it from Cheney, drops it down low to Mutombo, couldn't handle the low pass, and it's picked up by Kent.
10th steal for the Falcons.
Kent wide open. He says, why not? Doesn't connect, but Manga pulls down the rebound, and as he dances down the lane, say he waltzed, took that extra step, and is called for the travel. All this part of the SOL Public League Challenge hosted by Bensalem. Again, doing a great job, great facility here. And the Bensalem Owls, yesterday, they took on this Palumbo team. They got a 44-41 win, and they'll be in action later tonight. After this game, they will play Northeast. So you got the four teams kind of flip-flopping. As a nice job to hit Pamels on the cut. Cheney with a good pass, and Pamels, his momentum is going to help him get to the line. I believe that was Manga who picked up the foul. Comes with 2:29 to go here in the third quarter. Nice job by Pamels. Right now, Palumbo needs all the little things to go right to keep in touch and stay in this game.
This will be the 17th free throw for Palumbo tonight. 10 of 17.
Yeah, and their free throw shooting seems to be improving as this game goes on. 2 for 2 there from Pamels. Cut it back to a 12-point game. Hogenkamp into Kent. Kent's pass knocked away by Pamels, deflected out of bounds.
Trying to give it back to Hogenkamp there. Didn't have a clear vision at him and then just got it knocked out. Didn't have much to go there, so maybe best case scenario for Kent rather than the turnover.
They get it into Joshua. Today's game brought to you by the Pennsbury Boys Basketball Parents Club and Medela Capital. Lee Luckman and Medela Capital proudly supporting Pennsbury Boys Basketball. Great to have you with us today. Manga, he's bottled up. They got him trapped. And the Falcons recognizing the dilemma. They take time out.
Yeah, same situation Kent was just in. It's just this 2-3 zone for Palumbo is bottling up and eating Falcons alive here in this third quarter.
Well, with a timeout on the floor, we'll tell you that East Coast Printing 215 is your go-to source for custom apparel and printing in the 215 area and beyond. East Coast Printing 215, they bring your ideas to life. Custom screen printing, direct to film printing, embroidery, and custom orders from t-shirts, hoodies, hats, bags, more. If you can imagine it, East Coast Printing 215 will bring it to life. Whether you're outfitting a team, promoting your brand, or just creating something unique, something special for the holidays, some type of gift idea, East Coast Printing 215, they're in the Morrisville Shopping Center, and it's your go-to source for top quality work, very quick turnarounds. East Coast Printing in the Morrisville Shopping Center. They're open Monday through Friday, 10 to 8. And on Saturdays, they're open till 3. And we thank them for helping to make portions of today's game possible here on BCB. Joshua with the dribble helps to collapse that zone. Can't find a good shot, and they'll try the other side. And now Kent working over there with Hogenkamp. Across the floor to Kent, trying to have more of that horizontal spacing, maybe to break this zone up and find some good looks. As we get down to 1:20 remaining here in the third quarter. Certainly Falcons in no rush. You can't put it on ice quite yet, but they can start to limit possessions if they want to. Hogenkamp off the back rim, no. Manga offensive rebound. Manga kicks out to Hogenkamp, and a reach-in foul called. And that one picked up by McCall.
I know me and Gus were talking yesterday about there are going to be a shot clock, and I believe, and he said 28 and 29 season.
Yeah, Ben brought that up earlier. He said, what do you think about that? I said, I'm not sure. It seems like it hasn't been determined how long the shot clock will be, and that seems like a pretty big element there. Clark with a double team over in the corner, passes to Kent out of a jam, and then Gill knocks it out of bounds, and that might be a good thing for Pennsbury here to reset.
It's very hard to have an opinion about something that involves time without knowing the actual time.
Well, I do know. I mean, a lot of people want, it doesn't matter what the time is. They're going to be happy even if it's a minute shot clock. McCall hands off to Pamels. He's got momentum, spin move. Lets the jump shot go. No, half a minute remaining in the third quarter, and Clark flips it over to Joshua. Joshua drives, right-hand scoop shot. Not quite. In transition, Pamels, and a good job there by Breslin to get back defensively, stop the basketball, and then force a little bit of a misplay as Pamels has it go off of his foot.
Joshua checks out there. He's getting those looks. He's getting downhill. Ball's just not bouncing his way off the rim in right now. And it's frustrating, but it's good signs for what could come.
Yeah, tonight, or this afternoon, and last night's game as well, kind of a similar situation. Had some good looks, got the shot off. There's Kent. Goes off the top of the backboard, and brings us to the end of the third quarter as Falcons with a 41-29 advantage here in this non-conference neutral site out-of-league game, part of the SOL Public League Challenge. We'll be back for fourth quarter action on WBCB in just a moment.
There really is nothing like a home team advantage. There really is nothing like a home team advantage. That's why Team Toyota makes a great choice for your next vehicle purchase or service. With our MVP pricing guarantee, teammate rewards program, and streamlined customer experience, our award-winning operation ensures that you can trust our process. A home team advantage is nothing without the community. Our employees are part of our family, part of your town, and we're all part of the team. We're always here for you at one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, and Glen Mills.
This is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. Every champion needs a good game plan. BCWSA and I want to make sure you have a game plan when it comes to conserving our most precious resource, water. Whether you're washing dishes, brushing your teeth, or watering your garden, there are ways you can save water and save money. Visit bcwsa.net for tips on conserving water. BCWSA, proven.
All right, so great to welcome Discount Auto here to our Pennsbury Community Support Group. And big thanks to everybody in the organization for helping out and to power Pennsbury basketball on WBCB and for all the support of high school athletics in general on WBCB. As we get back to action and we get the fourth quarter underway, Palumbo will have it first. Again, read about today's game in tomorrow's Trentonian. Outstanding local and national sports coverage. Count on it 7 days a week. McCall driving. Shot comes up short. Mutombo keeps it alive. Back out to McCall, who splits defenders. Takes a little cut. Oh, they're going to give him the continuation right there. Wow. So count the bucket, and he gets a trip to the line. Maybe a little generous on the continuation, but it's a good start for Palumbo to this fourth quarter. We look back at stats throughout this game. Pennsbury still winning the turnover battle. Palumbo with 19 turnovers, the Falcons with 13 giveaways. Both teams with 3 blocks. Falcons with 10 steals to Palumbo's 6. And you look at shooting percentage, Falcons shooting 7 for 17 from beyond the 3-point line as they look to get it down low to Hogan Camp. He kicks back out again. Meanwhile, Palumbo, they haven't done a lot of shooting from distance, just 1 for 2. There's Kent, who gives that one a try from downtown. Can't connect. Transition. Nice pass up the floor to Gill. And he lays it home. So Palumbo continuing to cut into the Pennsbury advantage to get the fourth quarter underway. Falcons at this end. Down low to Hogan Camp. Kicks out to Kent. Pass a little off the mark. Otherwise, maybe Kent would have tried a shot there. Staines stops at the elbow, looks down low, finds Hogan Camp, and does a nice job. A little reverse lay-in.
Falcons were passing throughout the perimeter there. Hogan Camp finally the one to cut, found open space. Nice backdoor pass and a nice layup from the senior.
And I think that's what the Falcons are looking for now. Get that vertical, or excuse me, horizontal spacing to spread out the zone defense. Find some lanes either to drive or some space to shoot. Pamels across to Mutombo. Mutombo has his pocket picked. Staines takes it away. Up the floor to Kent. Yes. Brady Kent makes it 45-34. And at the other end, Cheney hits one for Palumbo. So teams now going back and forth here as we've got a couple minutes gone in the fourth quarter. SOL Public League Challenge here on WBCB. McCaffrey's game of the day. Clark rims out and Cheney pulls down the rebound. A Academy at Palumbo, looking for their first win here in this early season. Falcons trying to stay unblemished. Pomels drives and just can't get the finish. Good look there. And Clark at the other end gets it to go, gets the whistle, and extends the Pennsbury lead back to double digits.
These first two games from Braden Clark in transition, passing the ball around, the speed, the athleticism, the shooting. You're getting the full package here with this sophomore, and as he is going, this Falcons offense is also going.
It is the Braden show here for Pennsbury in the early going of the season as he steps back to the line. So what's this, trip number 4?
Number 4.
Can't complete the three-point play. Ball loose, and Pomels picks it up for Palumbo. At the elbow, lets it go, and hits the jump shot. Nice job there by Julius Pomels. His efforts alone have really kept Palumbo in this thing, especially in the second half. That long pass stolen by Mutombo, looks up the floor and hits Gill with the pass. And now he'll slow down, wait for his teammates. As we near the midway point of this fourth quarter, Pomels picks up the loose ball. And his pass stolen by Bunda. Bunda up the floor, gets it to Max Manga. Manga had to make an adjustment there, puts on the brakes, out to Kent, 3, too strong. And on the other side, Bunda diving for it. There's a baby in a stroller over there. Goodness gracious. As he dives there into the stands.
That would have been a disaster.
Stops the clock with 4:16 to go. And timeout, and we'll step aside, return here to Bensalem for more high school basketball on WBCB.
You know, McCaffrey's Food Market is exceptional every day, and they are proud to serve you since 1986. They're a local hometown business. They support your community, whether it's helping flood victims or holding fundraisers for the American Cancer Society or employing our local high school students. McCaffrey's is always there. They have the finest products, prime cuts of meat, a prepared food department where everything is made fresh daily, and also a fresh seafood department. Visit McCaffrey's Food Market near you in Yardley, Newtown, New Hope, Princeton, West Windsor, Gladwin, and Doylestown. They are exceptional every day, and they are local and proud of it.
All right, great to have you back with us as the Falcons are in front of the Academy at Palumbo, 47-38. As we're about midway through the fourth quarter, and we're powered by the Peruzzi Auto Group today. For complete automotive service, trust the Peruzzi Auto Group for value and service on all makes and models. Your car is going to have breakdowns. Peruzzi is there for you. Free multi-point inspection on your vehicle to avoid those breakdowns, and that's provided with any paid service at Peruzzi. Also do a 10% military and law enforcement discount on any service. You buy 3 tires, you get the 4th free, and all service performed by certified technicians. Peruzzi, they got the big comfy waiting rooms. And check them out. Visit a Peruzzi dealership, Business Route 1, Fairless Hills, where their business is you. Well, right there, forcing the issue is Gabe McCall. And now some pressure from Palumbo, making it difficult for the Falcons to get it up the floor, but a good pass by Bunda to Kent, breaking the press. Now Joshua steps in, long 3 off the rim. Gathered in by Mutombo underneath. Yeah, 3.5 to go here as Gill tries to work around Joshua, extends for the shot, but doesn't get the finish. Joshua quickly up the floor to Manga, and Manga banks it home and gets the whistle. And then as he gets lifted off the floor by Hogenkamp, and you can feel that just lifted a certain pressure off of Manga. Or maybe today's game, he feels like as this one's going on, feeling a certain comfort level. As he'll step to the line to try to put the Falcons up 10. Makai, you mentioned at halftime, Falcons were on pace to score right around where they ended up last night against Northeast. And kind of remaining on that pace there, is unable to hit point number 50 at the line, but 49-40.
Yeah, no, I was a little cautious a little bit in the third quarter. I believe they only put up 10 in the third quarter, so I was a little bit cautious, but it seems like they are tracking on that pace now with just 3 minutes to go.
Might have fallen off pace just a touch, but I'm expecting this to be a team that throughout this season going to be hard to stop, and I'm imagining they're going to be averaging 60 a game. We'll see your transition as Joshua loses it, and Breslin goes up for the block, and a late whistle. And they call that against Breslin.
Yeah, I didn't see a foul right there, but the rest beg otherwise.
And it will put Kepke Hessler to the line for the Griffin. Don't forget, you missed the action here. Read about it in tomorrow's Trentonian. Outstanding local national sports coverage. Count on it 7 days a week. It's all in the pages of the Trentonian. And later today, we'll have our player of the game interview on WBCB. Pretty quick turnaround, as we'll get that posted sometime this afternoon or evening, as we'll have our DiLorenzo's the Berg player of the game. Ben will go down there and talk to one of our top Pennsbury players right now, Braden Clark. Again, kind of in that top spot if you look at scoring and influence on this game. And as he races it up the floor, takes a bump from Kepke Hessler and gets the whistle. That is team foul number 4, I think, on Palumbo.
Mango also having a great game today, double-digit in points,
Yes.
also 8 rebounds. So, look, reaching for a double-double right now.
Yeah, we like to mix it up, even if we got the top scorer right there. Kent throwing to Clark, but Clark had vacated that spot, and Falcons just throw it away. And that, again, we talk about one of the mantras for this Pennsbury team is value the basketball. And Coach Emmy, he got some energy. He got lifted off his seat on that after that miscue.
17 turnovers tonight for Pennsbury, so it is still early in the season, so miscommunication is going to happen.
And I think he knows this game is not over yet. Right there, Pommel's had an opportunity along the baseline, couldn't connect. Manga over to Breslin. That pass behind Breslin, he stays with it, works the baseline, and lays that one home and gets another foul. So the bucket is good, makes it an 11-point Pennsbury lead, and now can add one more here from the stripe. Well, good to see Breslin starting to settle in. Here's foul shot, a little too strong. Pommel's with a behind-the-back dribble, a little too far away, couldn't control it, picked up by Manga. He couldn't control it. Pommel's working in traffic and finally picks it up and gives it over to Cheney with some breathing room. Across to Gill. Gill tries to take it down low. Spin move, Breslin rejects it. Great block there by Sean Breslin. And then Braden Clark dribbles through a couple of defenders, and it's a reach-in on Palumbo. So right now, Pennsbury just trying to clean this thing up and work the clock and work their way to 2-0 here in this early season and get ready to head home for their home opener on Tuesday. Still a little work in front of them, and guess who's at the line? It's Braden Clark.
5th time today. Falcons now will just look to, as you said, can do it at the free throw line now in the bonus.
And it looks like oh no, we got some of those starters coming back out for Palumbo. So certainly the Griffin continuing to battle as Tito Mutombo back out on the floor with Cheney. Well, 1 for 2 at the line makes it a dozen here for Pennsbury, and then an offensive rebound, so they hold on to it as well. And now they will spread the floor and just start to work the clock, work for some really good shots. Right there, Clark probably could have had a pretty good look on a drive. Instead, he pulls back. And then Cheney and Palumbo with no alternative but to foul to try to get this basketball back. So a reach in on Clark, and so this is trip number 6 for the Pennsbury sophomore here to the free throw line. And again, check out our DiLorenzo's The Berg Player of the Game interview. We'll have that for you later tonight. It was great to talk with Clark yesterday. Checking in for the Falcons is Liam Waislick. And Omar Halwani on the floor for Pennsbury, along with Quentin Schaefer. As the Falcons get the job done here in the SOL Public League Challenge. All the starters coming off the floor. James Achuff checks in. So Academy at Palumbo battling here in all 3 of their early season games, but now will fall to an 0-3 mark. Travel there, Falcons continuing to pour it on when it comes to the defense. These guys who come off the bench late in the game, Makai, you know they're trying to prove something to the coaches.
Yeah, exactly. Both teams are trying to prove something, whether that's, whether this is your junior year, sophomore year, or you're a freshman. You just want to show that your coach that you are ready for the moment and that he can trust you.
It's about earning minutes and, like you said, earning confidence and trust. Zach Staines dribbling up top, loses it, picked up by Tran. Tran looks down the floor, but Teray couldn't quite hold on to it and goes out of bounds with 43.9 remaining here in today's game. Hope to have you with us on Tuesday. Pennsbury with the home opener. Also special tribute to former head basketball coach Ed Cochran. Schaefer and Staines break the pressure. Zach Staines there nearly gets trapped. Flips it across to Halwani. And a foul called. Colin Ath whistled for the foul. Falcons are in the bonus, so up to the line steps James Achuff.
I just got to give credit to this Palumbo team out here. I believe Ben, before we went live today, said this high school team came around in 2006, I believe he said. So you got to give credit for, just how young this high school be, and coming out here, put on a great showcase for their team and their school.
Mentioned we appreciate Bensalem hosting us, and it's great to have these schools come together and what has now become kind of a tradition, SOL Public League thing. As Achuff gets 1 of 2. Long pass down the floor to Tran, the freshman, high off the glass, no. Mutombo with the follow-up. But too little, too late, as the Falcons with a 54-42 victory here today, as they dribble out the final few seconds and move to 2-0 here in the 2025-2026 high school basketball season. Big thanks to all of our sponsors for making today's game possible. It has been the McCaffrey's Game of the Day, McCaffrey's Food Markets, exceptional every day thanks to Team Toyota, Dion Square Merchants, St. Mary Medical Center, the Revere Restaurant, along with Discount Auto. Great to have them on board for Falcon basketball this season. BCWSA, the Peruzzi Auto Group, the Trentonian, the Pennsbury Boys Parents, the Basketball Parents Club, and Lee Luckman, Medela Capital. Thanks to Jammer Doors, DiLorenzo's Pizza. Right now, Ben is trying to find our player of the game down there, do a post-game interview, and pass along a DiLorenzo's, the Berg gift certificate to our top Pennsbury player of the game. Yeah, it looks like he's got Max Manga down there, and you can catch that interview later back here on YouTube under the WBCB Sports mantra. Thanks to the Trentonian, East Coast Printing, DiLorenzo's, the Peruzzi Auto Group, the whole gang with us. Thanks to Puss in Boots. And the Falcons get a big 54-42 win over Palumbo. They go 2-0 in the SOL Public League Challenge, and we thank you for being with us here this afternoon on WBCB. Thanks to the crew, Ben Goldstein helping with stats and the call of the game, Makai Kunde behind the camera for us, and Colin Summer, our video engineer. And we thank you and our sponsors one final time here from Bensalem High School. It was the Pennsbury Falcons 54 and the Academy at Palumbo Griffin 42. Thanks for catching some high school hoops on the WBCB Sports Network.